Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we are actually in Helsinki. So this is going to be another vlog and I'm going to do a voiceover simply because I mostly forgot to film me talking about the things that we did. But yeah, so on the first day we checked into our hotel and we got a little bit of a feeling for the city, went to this cool cathedral and walked around a bookstore and just enjoyed the vibe of the city a little bit. We actually were in Tallinn like on the same day. We traveled to Helsinki by ferry, so that is how we got there. The next day I started reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and we were actually heading to a little bit of an island that was very close to Helsinki. It was only like a 5-minute ferry ride, and we walked around that island for a little bit and yeah, just basically got to see that a little bit. It was also really cool to see the city from like the other side, kind of. So we basically explored that little island, and we also went to a bit of a church that was on that island. So that was also quite cute, not too fancy, but sweet. And then afterwards, we went back to the main island and we went to another church and we took a little look around that church. We also went to like the catacombs of the church, kind of. Outside of that church was actually a military like band that played some music, and we figured out that was kind of happening frequently during the summer, and that was actually quite cool. And yeah, we chilled in our hotel room for a little while and then went to Flying Cinema, which is super cool. It's kind of a 5D cinema where you watch a movie and you get like sprayed with water and the seats are moving and stuff like that, so that was really cool. In the evening we went to the old market hall and just took a look around that. That was also quite cool. And afterwards we also just walked around the harbor for a little bit. It is very beautiful there, so I would definitely recommend going. Also, there's like a second harbor a little bit further into the city, so I definitely recommend going there as well. And then we also just chilled in the park for a little bit, and the next day we went to the Central Library, which is super cool. I would 100% recommend that. It was just a really cool place to hang out, and I did a little bit of reading, which was very fun. Afterwards, we went to the Museum of Natural History, and it was really cool and interesting. Sadly, they didn't have most of the text for the exhibits in English, but it was still really cool to just look around. Afterwards, we went to this really cool church that was like built into like rock or something. I can't really explain it, but it was really cool and very fun to look around, and the vibe was also kind of cool. And then we just went to another park and hung out there a little bit and just like soaked in the city flair, and it was very beautiful as well. I filmed like one clip of me talking during our whole stay, so that is going to be the next clip. Just so you know, I'm basically giving off my recommendations for Helsinki. I would recommend the Flying Cinema. That was so cool, and they have like a bunch of different movies that you can watch there, and it was like such a cool experience. Obviously, I would recommend going to all of the the three main cathedrals slash churches. They were very impressive, but they're just like to look at. Hesburger, I would definitely recommend Hesburger. That was delicious. Helsinki also has a bunch of cool bookstores. I mean, I don't think I mentioned earlier, but the books here are definitely pricier than in Germany, because they were like starting at 14 euros and ranged up to 28 euros for a paperback. For like a 300-page paperback novel. Okay. But I mean, they were kind of fun to just walk around, and still I went to that one bookstore like twice, didn't buy a single book, but just spent like an hour in total probably. And I'm trying really hard to think. Also, the Central Library was very fun. I thought that was just a very cool like hangout spot and just a great way to spend some time. I also liked the Natural History Museum that we went to today. I think that one was really fun as well and just very interesting. But what is definitely something they could improve probably is that a lot of the text at the different exhibits were only in Finnish and Swedish, but not in English, and that was kind of sad because I would have wanted to read some stuff about the different animals, but I just couldn't, and I felt too lazy to pull out my phone and like translate it, because I mean, you go to a museum to expect that you can like read what it says, I guess, but I couldn't. At the like main harbor, there's also a like market that was very fun to just like walk around, and I think that was kind of my top things to do. Then our last day approached, and we just walked around the city once again and also bought some souvenirs, went back to the central library, and just spent our last few hours. And then we headed to the airport, where we had to wait quite a while because we left very early, because it's always better to have more time than less when you're at the airport. And yeah, so we just spent our time there. I did some reading and watched some YouTube, and then we were heading back home. Our gate was opening, so we obviously boarded our flight. That was basically our stay in Helsinki. It was really, really cool and a very fun city to stay in and to just explore, look around, and do all of the sightseeing things. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this little vlog, and I hope you also liked the like recommendations part, because I hope that maybe you can like draw some inspiration from this if you ever go to Helsinki, which I would definitely recommend. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, maybe like, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!